Imagine spending your whole life being told you'll never be enough. Not pretty enough. Not smart enough. Not like your sister. But one day, I stopped playing nice. And when I exposed my sister for the fraud she truly was, she didn't just lose her job. She lost the reputation she built on my ideas. I'm Meera Bhattacharya, 28, a marketing strategist living in Mumbai. I come from a middle-class Bengali family where success was currency, and my sister Annika, 3 years older than me, was the family's gold standard. From the time we were kids, my parents compared every breath I took to hers. If she got a 95%, my 92% was just not enough. If she got a promotion, my steady job was lacking ambition. And no matter how much I achieved, my father's proudest words were always, "Learn from your sister, Meera. She knows how to get ahead." But the irony, every time Anika got ahead, she used my ideas. It started small in college. She'd steal my essays, my design concepts. Later it got worse. When we both ended up in the same industry, digital marketing, she began taking credit for my campaigns. I'd come home and share a creative pitch over dinner, and 2 weeks later, her company's social campaign would have the same slogan, same visuals, same tone. And of course, she'd be praised for her original brilliance. I tried confronting her once. She just smirked and said, "You talk too much, Meera. Maybe next time keep your ideas to yourself." That's when it hit me, she didn't just crave validation, she needed control. Fast forward to last year. I was leading a marketing team for a local brand, and Annika had recently joined an international agency. She was aiming for a senior promotion that came with a huge bonus and client exposure, something she'd been bragging about for months. One evening, my manager called me in to discuss a potential collaboration between our firms. I was thrilled until I saw Annika's name on the joint project file. She was leading from her side. I'd have to work under her in this partnership. From the start, she made it unbearable. She dismissed every idea I shared. She humiliated me in front of her colleagues. And worst of all, she demanded I send her my concept decks privately, claiming it was for streamlining. I didn't trust her, but I also didn't want to ruin the deal for my own company, so I sent one decoy version of a proposal, deliberately incomplete but convincing. A week later, her team pitched that exact proposal to the client with her name on it. The room went silent when the client said, "This looks like an early version of something Meera's team sent us earlier. Why does it have your signature, Annika?" Annika's smile faltered for the first time in her life, but she brushed it off smoothly, saying, "Oh, Meera and I brainstormed together. We just didn't coordinate who'd present it first." The client accepted it. My company backed down, and once again, she walked away unscathed, stealing not just my work but my dignity. That night, I cried in my car for hours. Then I promised myself I'd never cry for her again. I spent the next few months quietly gathering proof. Annika was careless, arrogant. She thought no one could touch her. I started by tracking her professional portfolio. She'd published multiple campaigns, presentations, and content pieces online. Many of them contained identical phrasing, visuals, and data I'd used in confidential decks. Then came the jackpot. A junior employee from her firm, Priya, reached out to me privately on LinkedIn. She said, "I think your sister's been using internal work from other agencies and passing it off as her own. I found files with your initials on them." Priya sent me screenshots of shared folders, timestamped with my original file names. That was my first reveal. But I needed more. So I dug into Anika's email trail. Our father had once asked me to fix her laptop when it crashed. I had backed up her drive. She never realized I still had access to it. Buried in those archives were dozens of emails she'd sent to herself, forwarding my documents and rewriting them slightly before presenting them at work. Each email was another nail in her professional coffin. But revenge, I knew, wasn't about rage. It was about timing. A few months later, Anika's company was shortlisted for a major international award for Campaign of the Year. Guess what? The nominated campaign was mine. She'd lifted the exact structure from a proposal I had written a year ago for a smaller client, right down to the tagline, "Your story, your spark." The irony was poetic. Because now, I had an opportunity not just to expose her but to do it publicly. I reached out to the event organizers anonymously and sent them a timeline comparison file, my dated decks, her final campaign, and the email chains proving she plagiarized it. I didn't have to wait long. A week later, I was invited under the guise of being part of the audience to the award night at Street Regis, Mumbai. Anika strutted in like royalty, in her shimmering sari, smiling at every camera. When her name was called for the award, she stood on stage, gave a self-congratulatory speech until the host interrupted her. "Before we move ahead," the host said, "our verification team has flagged a potential issue regarding originality in this submission." A murmur spread through the hall. Anika's face went pale. The host continued, "We've been informed of content overlap and have received credible documentation showing that the winning concept was previously authored by another creative, Miss Meera Bhattacharya." The audience turned to me. I'll never forget that silence, heavy, cold, and utterly humiliating for her. Anika tried to recover, denying everything, but the proof was overwhelming: timestamps, metadata, emails. Her firm conducted an internal investigation. Within 2 weeks, she was suspended for ethical misconduct. The promotion she was promised? Gone. Her reputation? Shattered. Meanwhile, the same award organizers reached out to me, asking if I'd like to represent the campaign under my name for the next season. For the first time, I didn't hesitate to say yes. When my father found out, he was furious, but not at me. He looked at Anika and said, "You had everything handed to you, and still, you chose to steal from your own sister." For the first time in my life, he looked at me with pride. That day, I realized something profound. Revenge isn't always about destroying someone. Sometimes it's about reclaiming what's rightfully yours and forcing truth into the light, no matter how long it takes. My sister taught me a lesson: never let someone else narrate your story. Because when you stay silent too long, they start believing they wrote it. And for the first time ever, the applause wasn't for her. It was for me.
Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this, go watch the one on the left and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more tales of triumph over injustice and a saga of ultimate revenge.